Now let us study another question related to preparation of income and expenditure account through the given receipts and payments account. Now let's see. Following is the receipts and payments account of Delhi Football Club for the year ended 31st March 2020, and the receipts and payment account for the year ended 31st March 2020 is given to us. And we need to prepare income and expenditure account with the help of this receipts and payment account and the additional information that we have. Now let's start from the first item, that is balance brought down. This is again the asset account that needs to be shown in the balance sheet of the previous year. Now we see the next item, that is donations for building. Donations for building is a specific donation which needs to be shown on the liabilities of balance sheet. Thus, this will also not be shown in the income and expenditure account. Let's go to the next item, that is donations. Donations are mentioned to be 50,000, and these are general donations because no purpose is mentioned here. Thus, it will be shown in the income and expenditure account. The format looks like this. Now, by donations, 50,000 we will mention. Now, let's study the next item, that is government grant, young talent search and development. Now, in the government grant, a purpose attached is given, which means that it is again a specific donation. It needs to be shown in the liabilities of balance sheet. Now we see the next item, that is life membership fees. Again, this is received once in a while by the organization. It is a capital receipt, thus it needs to be shown in the balance sheet again. Match fund, again a specific fund, it cannot be shown here. While if you observe the related amount here, it is match expenses. We have match fund 80,000, match expenses are 90,000. Had this amount been less or equal to the amount of fund, this entire amount would have been shown in the balance sheet. But if you recall, when we have a specific fund and the expense, related expense, is attached and is given in the receipts and payments account, but the amount is greater than the amount of fund that we have, then the excess of expenditure or expense over the fund is shown in the income and expenditure account in the expenses side. So 80,000 will be adjusted from the match fund that we have in the balance sheet. The excess amount, that is 10,000, will be shown in the expenditure account, expenditure side of income and expenditure account as 10,000. How we have calculated this? 90,000 is the amount of expense, out of which 80,000 fund is already adjusted in the balance sheet. This 10,000 is the balancing figure that we will write here. Then next is subscriptions. Now with subscriptions we have an adjustment mentioned. The amount we have received is 52,000. Adjustment is club had 550 members and each paying an annual subscription of 100, which means that the total subscriptions receivable by the organization is 550 multiplied by 100, that is 55,000. So in income side we will mention 55,000 as the amount of subscriptions which is receivable by us, out of which we have received only 52,000, which means that 3,000 is outstanding subscription. Now we see the next item, that is locker rent. It is 4,000. So as it is, locker rent will be mentioned in income side of income and expenditure account. Then we see the interest on investment, 10,000. Now let's check for the hidden adjustment related to this, because when we studied in the previous question there was a hidden adjustment related to interest. Now 10% investment, it is purchased on 1st July 2019 and the amount is 1,60,000. Let's check the amount of interest. Now 1,60,000 is the amount of investment, 10% is the rate of interest, and the duration for which the investment is made is 9 months, from 1st July till 31st March 2020. On calculating, we will get this amount as 12,000. Now if we observe the question, it is given to be received as 10,000 rupees. That means on income side we will mention interest on investment 10,000 plus accrued interest, which is 2,000, and the net amount is 12,000. Now we see the next item, that is sale of furniture having book value of 80,000 and it is sold for 1 lakh rupees. Now since furniture is a fixed asset, its book value is 80,000. On sale of this particular asset, this book value will be deducted from the asset, that is furniture, given on the asset side of balance sheet. The proceeds is 20,000 greater than the book value. That means we have earned a gain on this particular sale of fixed asset. Thus this gain needs to be shown in income and expenditure account. So this 20,000 will be shown as gain on sale of furniture on income side of income and expenditure account as 20,000. Now we see the next item, that is entrance fees, as given 50,000 rupees. We will straight away forward this to income side, 50,000. Now we see the items given on the payment side. First is building. Building is a capital expenditure for us. It should not be shown in income and expenditure. It will go to balance sheet. Project expenses 90,000. Now if you see, government grant is 1 lakh. Project expenses 90,000 related to the same particular event. Thus it will be shown in liabilities again. Match expenses 90,000. This we have already catered to. Furniture, fixed asset, it will go to balance sheet. Investment, fixed asset, in again balance sheet. Salaries 70,000 rupees. Now we have paid salaries 70,000. So it will be shown on the debit side, in expenditure side of income and expenditure account. Now if you see the adjust when it is mentioned, salaries outstanding on 1st April 2019 were 10,000. As at 31st March it is 5,000. Now salary outstanding on the first date means that it belongs to the previous year, because this amount was supposed to be paid by us but we haven't paid it in the beginning of the year, which means that it belongs to the previous year, while the salary which is outstanding at the end of the year belongs to the current year, because we were supposed to pay it till 31st March 2020 but we haven't. Thus it means it belongs to the current year. So the amount belonging to the previous year will be deducted from this particular amount, and assumingly that it has been paid, and the amount due on 31st March will be added back. So outstanding in beginning minus 10,000 plus outstanding at end 5,000. Result is 65,000. Now we see the next item, insurance 3,500. As it is, we will mention it being a revenue expenditure, so it will be mentioned here. Expense side. Sundry expenses 4,700, again 4,700 here, expenditure side. Balance carried down cash and by bank account, young talent search and development, which means that this amount we have transferred to the bank. Thus these two accounts are asset accounts. It will be shown in balance sheet, asset side. Now on solving this particular account, we get the surplus by deducting the amount of expenditures from the total of the incomes that we have received. So we will add all the items here and deduct all these items. Then we will get the surplus to be 1,07,800. Thank you.